So hi there. It's morning for me, and for you, it is what time?
It's 6:30 in the evening.
Oh my goodness! Wow. So here, I've got my friend Goga here from Slovenia, and hey, we're just gonna chat about stuff. So if you like, you can start the conversation. You can.
Okay.
Hmm.
So you said it's about transition, right? Um, so everybody who is following us in your group, what kind of transitions have you been having for the last couple of days? Since it's December and there's a lot of things going on, not just family and holidays, but also COVID for the last almost 2 years. So what is going on for you and how do you cope day and time with transitioning? Are you, for example, me, I moved this year into a house. That was a big transition.
Yeah.
And I also recently closed up my office in the place where I used to live because it didn't make sense anymore to have it there.
Mhm.
So it was another transition, a big one for me. My cat died.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry.
thank you. And I got a new cat and they are making noises at the back. So
Kitty, kitty,
they
kitty, come here.
yeah. Well, the new cat isn't that responsive when it comes to kitty kitty. If I had a piece of meat, then yes. So
Yeah. Wow. So let me just ask you, um, when you were looking at transitioning out of the office space and getting this new bigger home, was that to like include the business in that space, or did you change your business as well?
well, I changed the business just like last month.
Mhm.
However, I was asking for moving into a house somewhere in close to nature,
Mm.
away from the city. And it was like this miracle just popped up for me. It was just a few days after I put the request into the universe.
Mm.
I created this situation when I had to leave my apartment behind and I moved into a house. So it
So
was,
nice.
yeah, it was a nice thing. And at the same time, I was surprised how ease, joy, and glory it was for me.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what it is about moving. I move so often. It's like every 3 years I move home to some. It's like what? But it's just time, and I move everything in one day and set 90% of it up because I don't want to see boxes. And then I usually have an access class or something the next day. So it's like,
Wow. Well, you can come to my place and help me because I still have things in my boxes.
well, the trick is to only to bring the boxes in the house that you can empty, and otherwise leave it in the garage or storage until you're
Mm.
ready to empty it. And then if you don't bring it back in the house, you can pretty much get rid of it.
Oh, thank you for this tip.
Because who likes to live with boxes?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
And I recently, since I closed my office, And I had a lot of furniture there and a lot of things, you know, it was a 10-year lease. I brought home things that I looked at and I said, okay, so I'm going to use this for Christmas presents this year because I have lots of books, you know, um, spiritual books and so on that people really like. And I'm ready to move on and let
Yeah,
go of them. So I'm going to have like this sale of books, very cheap, and hopefully I will find them new homes.
that sounds great. Wow. Yeah, it's interesting. My business is going through a transition also. That's something that I asked for a few years ago before I made any steps in that direction. And then recently I let go of my retail space and just asking for different kinds of um, work to do, higher end custom pieces. And it's just so interesting how they start to show up. And it's like, I've known other people who have asked for their business to shift and change. And there's always this sort of space in between where you let go of the old and what you knew. And then while you're sort of waiting for, not really waiting, but creating towards this new, greater possibility. And there are times where it's like, oh my God, what have I done? But then you take two more steps and something else shows up. So I just want to say to all the people out there who are listening, don't doubt yourself. Keep going, keep moving forward because it will show up.
Yes, just around the corner.
Especially when you feel like you just, oh my gosh, you're on your last possible whatever at the end of your rope. It's just around the corner. It really is.
Yeah. It's interesting. This transition topic now started me thinking about so many things that I have created in the last months. I've been in a 5-year relationship, and it was a weekend relationship, basically.
Uh-huh.
My partner used to work somewhere else, so we saw each other only during the weekends. And ever since we moved, he started looking at a new job. So we basically, after 5 years, we started living together.
Oh my goodness.
So
Oh my
that's,
goodness. How
yeah.
is that going?
It's going fine because each one of us has different kind of work. So he works shifts. We don't see each other that much. And even before, when we are together at home, we basically are in two separate rooms all
So you
the
give each
time.
other space. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, each one of us likes space a lot, and I translate, so I need peace and quiet. And he just likes to be on his own somewhere. So it's really working well.
That's awesome. You know, so many people think that they have to spend every living, breathing moment together, and it burns you out because you really do need space for yourself.
Yeah, I've always been like that, and I trained my partners to understand what I'm like. Even if we traveled somewhere together, I just have to go somewhere on my own, explore, and then come back. And um, it gives me more of me. And at the same time, then I can give myself more to others when I have this space and freedom.
That is a really great point for anybody who's visiting family. I found that out. When you go and visit family, you usually stay with family, or at least I did. And it's like you never have space for yourself. But I learned to just go off and take a walk, or go for a run, or do something, choose something to do by myself, and then you could bring all of you back to the situation, because over time your being sort of erodes in the what is it, the demands and the expectations and the projections that people have of you.
Yes.
So that's so cool that you do that in your relationship too. I
Yeah.
like it.
Otherwise it wouldn't work for me.
Yeah. And they probably appreciate it too.
Yes. Although men have a different way of doing things like that, right? They go together, have a drink, they process things differently, they do sports, and also women, we like to get together, chat, talk about feelings, share things.
Well, there's different kinds of men and women, which is really cool. But I've known a lot of men that talk about their feelings a lot. And I know a lot of women who are really like straightforward and get it done. And so there's like this blend.
Yes,
It's not so cut and
black
dry.
and white. True. Yeah,
Yeah.
because when I started speaking, I was like, oh, which group am I?
Yeah, I know. It's like, wait a second. And what Gary calls men who talk about their feelings manginas.
Mm,
And I don't know, what does he call the women? Warrior women, maybe.
bulldozers.
But like how wonderful is it that we can be whatever it is that we choose to be, and you don't have to fit within the narrow confines of uh, the gender.
Exactly. Yeah. Because,
So
this is the gender that we have right now. And who were we
exactly.
before?
Exactly. And our beings are infinite and they can take on any gender body.
Yeah.
So you said that you do translation. I think that is one of the coolest things, especially the way Access does translation simultaneous.
Yes.
Talk about transition. That's
Um,
like,
yeah, it is. And for me, before Access, I was already doing some translation, some simultaneous, but it's completely different when you're translating energy,
yes.
and especially translating Dane when he shifts into the sixth gear. And the
Totally.
funny thing is that last year I also chose to become the translator for Croatian, so I'm translating into 2 languages.
Oh my
Uh,
God.
yeah, so sometimes I don't even know which language I'm supposed to translate when I show up. I'm like, can somebody please tell me so that I get ready?
Wow. What an ability.
Thank you.
I'm amazed. Yeah.
And for us, I guess it's nothing really that special because we just be it. And I'm sure that so many people who maybe don't speak languages or not as many languages as we do, um, have a difficult time grasping what it's like. And,
Yeah.
we understand energy much more than we acknowledge it.
It's really true. And I think like the more you play with the Access tools and become aware of what you're aware of, you find that you translate energy in whatever it is you do. I'm also a jewelry designer, and my translation of energy is with stones and gems and, gold and silver and bodies and the interaction of all of that. And it's funny, I had some people over yesterday for a studio sale, and this woman picked up one of my, like one of these necklaces where it's, I call them elixir amulets, because they're a blend of gemstones, semi-precious gemstones in a certain combination. And so I do these gemstone readings for people and then create a piece. But this lady just picked up a piece that I had already made, and she couldn't take it off. She was like, oh my God, like I never wear necklaces, but I love this. And I don't want to take it off. Maybe I should have a gemstone reading and you could make me one. And I'm like, you're already wearing it. And what I have to look at and acknowledge is that I can tap into people in the future who will be coming and make pieces for them so that when they see it, they know it's theirs.
Yes.
So that's an interesting translation of energy.
Yes, absolutely. So it doesn't have to be with the words.
Mm-hmm. And it's just quick. Yeah.
And every single word is a limitation of what we can perceive. Sometimes it's so difficult to explain certain things, especially in excess. How can you explain what you experienced during your first bars? It's really out of this world. So it limits the experience. And, you know, especially when Gary and Dane make up words, we as translators have to do it so quickly to find something similar in our language and then just get it out of our mouth.
I remember when before Dane had started putting words to the SOP, Symphony of Possibilities, and being able to teach that, he used to work at a table in the back of the room when there was a class going on. And I was at a 7-day, this was probably 15 years ago or something. And he was working on someone, and I had asked him at the beginning of class, can I do this? Can I learn? I want to, like, whatever that is, I want to play with that. And somebody went and got on his table, and I was like, oh, I want to play. I want to help. And he turned and looked at me, and I knew it, like, cause it was like this energetic thing. And he's like, come here. So I went over and I just stood there, and he goes, so what you're going to do is, and he's like, oh, okay. Cause I was already being with him. It's that, you know, energetic kind of synthesis thing. And I remember he said that, I mean, I was just standing there. I didn't think of anything or do anything, but I was just standing there. And he said that he got the most change out of working with that person by me being there, because it was something different that he hadn't done before. And it's like, where we think we have to explain things when people can just get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was cool.
I had a similar experience with my son. Years ago, I took him to his first Choice of Possibilities class in Vienna. And as we were doing the bars at the back of the room, Dane was doing his sessions.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to my son, he was then maybe 10, 11 years old. I said to him, watch Dane and maybe you can learn whatever he's doing.
Mm.
And he looked at me and he said, Mom, I already know this thing, you know. And I said, okay, so you will show me later on. And he did a symphony session on me later that night without cognitively knowing this energy. However, he recognized it. So the next day, somebody saw him playing on me and he was like, I want that. And my son was like, I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing something, obviously. And as you said, he was being.
Yep. Yep. I know the kids are so great that way. My kids were really little when I started Access, and my son used to do eye processes for people, and my daughter would do facelift. And there was just such a wonderful response from the people who received from them. Excuse me. And now they're like, nah, you know.
Yeah.
Pardon.
My son is the same.
So, oh, I have a tickle in my throat now. I'm sorry. Everything this
That's
is
fine. Yes.
right, wrong. Fuck. Very strange. We can SOP that.
Yeah, that's how quickly it works.
Wow. Yeah, wow. So tell me about your business and what it's transitioning into.
Well, my business is made of many things. I'm a certified access consciousness facilitator, doing several different specialties: right voice for you, talk to the entities, joy of business, and being you.
Wow, that's a
Yeah,
lot.
it is. And this year I chose also to become a maestro. I'm still in a question whether to become a symphony advanced practitioner. I have all the prereqs. So this is a part that I'm doing. And also then I'm translating. For Access, I'm a written and live translator.
Wow.
Right now I'm translating the book Living Beyond Distraction into Slovenian. I already translated 4 books into Slovenian for Access. And I'm also translating for the outside sources. So it's not just Access, it's also other businesses that require translation. And also that's the serious part of my life. I'm also a country line dance instructor.
Oh, wow.
So that takes care of my body and having more fun in my life.
So cool. Wow. So did you do like sessions in your office, or what was the office for?
Well, the office used to be for live classes.
Mm,
And then when we started doing everything online, I basically didn't need it anymore. So we just got together weekly for bar swaps. That was
mm,
it. And that's why I started thinking of whether I really need it or not.
yeah.
Yeah. But apart from that, all the classes basically can be done online now. So no need for that.
Yeah, it's interesting how so many things shifted. And it's like, I don't necessarily think of it as a loss or a bad thing. It's just, things are shifting. It's sort of like a kaleidoscope, and then things moving and fitting into a different space. I actually moved most of the furnishings from my store, my boutique, into my dining room. And the things that I didn't love, I got rid of, and the rest fit. So,
Yes,
how does it get better than that?
exactly. So I'm also creating this new office in the capital of Slovenia, together with several other people, because I would really like to be a part of this group who creates all the time, which creates all the time. And let's see what we can do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Are you going to be doing an event for Global Bars Day?
I'm going to translate it. Most of the time I'll be skipping from one language to the other. So for the last 6 years, I've been only translating it, not really having any events.
Interesting. Well, hopefully you get your bars run.
Yes, I'm going to make sure of that. Definitely.
Having your bars run on Global Bars Day is an experience. And it's like every year it gets greater and greater because there's more and more people doing it.
Yeah.
So if you guys out there have not experienced bars, that would be a good day to do it. It's January 15th, all over the world for, what are they doing? Like an 8 or 10 hour?
10 hours.
10-hour time frame. And there are hundreds, I think, hundreds of events posted on the Access website all over the world. So Monique is saying, woohoo. Yes, exactly. It's like my favorite holiday because you run bars and it's just, it's exponentialized. So, if you feel like a bar session is nice, this is like, boom.
Yeah.
It's so amazing. You can really, really perceive the peace and space in such a dynamic way.
And this year is going to, well, the next year, it's going to be interesting. I already have most of the program that is going to be, because we as translators had to already fill in the calendar and the timetable. So it's really going to be a boom.
Yeah, cool. I know they were filming people last weekend at the Being You class, asking questions about bars and stuff. And I did one of the video interviews, and who knows if it'll get, put in there, but that would be cool. So look for me if you, because I've been doing bars for 18 years. And I was telling Emily, like when I found Access, it's like I didn't age past that. And actually I sort of reverse aged, because at that point, I had the weight of the world on my shoulders. And the more bars you run, the clearer and lighter and brighter and happier you get. So.
And there is no more chattering in your head.
Yeah.
That's something that I really, really like.
Yeah.
And quiet and calmness.
I wonder if people even realize that that is a possibility.
Well, I definitely didn't before Access. I thought this is the way it's supposed to be, to have this nya 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 the whole time in your head.
Yeah.
And I used to also sing in a choir, so my mind would repeat the lyrics before going to bed until I knew the song by heart. And I got a chance this year to sing in a choir, and I was like, no, thank you very much. No way. I'm going to do something else with my body, dance, but no singing.
Yeah, it's funny how you can let go of that and just show up and speak and be present, and it works. I also remember I did many years of meditation, like 20 years of meditation practice that was very serious and structured, and every single day, morning and night. And it took a long time to get to no thoughts in your head. But the last 3 years that I was still doing that particular practice, I had added in the access tools. And who does it belong to, and expanding and these different things. And it made it so that there was almost no difference between sitting and closing my eyes and being out in the world. And then I was like, well, I don't need to sit on my butt for 2 hours a day withdrawing all my energy. Like, you can just be and expand and have
Yes.
that space. And it was really, I also noticed it was really hard to maintain the space after meditation, interacting with people. But when I used the access tools, it was totally different.
Yeah, because you can be interesting point of view and still keep this inner calm with ease, joy, and glory.
So if anybody's having difficulty with their meditation and their monkey mind, Access Bars is an amazing, amazing place to start. And some of the other basic access tools can make it just so much easier. So check it out.
Yes, please do.
Awesome. Well, it's the end of our half hour. That went so quickly. Thank you for coming on and chatting with me. And I wish you much luck and success in all of your future things. And hopefully I'll see you sometime in the world in person.
Thank you very much. And I wish you all the success with your jewelry business, access business, and anything else your heart desires.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.